No, not really. You know what? Go on then. Yo guys, it is your boy Niran here, and you are watching FTW. This of course is the series where I bring to you the best and more frequently the worst of what football has to offer during the last 7 days. But what has been kicking off in the world this week? Well, a family from Yorkshire discovered a crocodile in their next door neighbour's garden. Don't tell me I don't bring you the serious news. This is madness. The most exotic animal ever sighted there is a white version of a pigeon. Imagine the scenes in that household. Darling, I think there's a croc outside. They don't look good. I told you not to buy those shoes. Oh my. On to the football though now, and Lionel Messi's tough start to Parisian life continues. He's now out injured for PSG's game against bottom of the league Metz. He's now played 3 times and he's still goalless in this superstar studded lineup. Fans are making excuses, talking about he's had his debut, his Champions League debut, his home debut. What next? His slightly southeastern debut? A Tuesday afternoon debut? He needs a goal debut, if anything. And he looked unimpressed after being subbed off during his last league match by manager Mauricio Pochettino. Leo, I swear it's for tactical reasons. How can I evade tax on a goal bonus now? Teammate Leandro Paredes looked flummoxed on the bench, but to be honest, his performances so far match the level of this tattoo that one PSG fan got of him. Maybe he is a fraud now. He's only in France. Half the teams in this league are moving unprofessional. Angers are doing training rondos round combine harvesters. Troyes is a fish and chip shop in Middlesbrough. And that's before you get to the rest of France, fam. League Dirt, the only thing getting promoted in this league is a farm shop. Alright, you stay touch tight, I'll drop deep, just shepherd him wide. Oh mate, I'm way ahead of you on that one. For fuck's sake. I can't lie, this is an unnecessary attack on French football. But he hasn't had the impact that most fans would expect. And whilst he's been sat about doing niche, Cristiano Ronaldo has been making moves. He's still amongst the goal scoring as his United side rescued 3 points at West Ham. I mean, in fairness, it's a tap in again. He has no shame. This is how he's celebrating a goal from 0.3 yards out. There really should be an investigation conducted at this stage because he's absolutely paying these goalkeepers he's coming up against. Now, Man U went down 1-0 to a deflected side Benrahma strike before Ron and former West Ham loanee Jesse Lingard earned the win. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sent Jesse Lingard out on loan to gain confidence, dance about a bit, then come back and score against them.
It was all part of the master plan, wasn't it?
Not that Jesse actually wanted to celebrate the goal. He was practically forced to dance at the corner flag by Bruno and Ronaldo. But the wild scenes in this one came at the death, as after denial of their own spot kicks, United gave away a penalty in the final minute of the game. David Moyes brought on club captain Mark Noble to take it, but he had his penalty saved by De Gea with the last kick of the game. We got live scenes of David Moyes sat down on the touchline after the decision. Well, you're not watching the Euros, David. Jadon Sancho sat over there with PTSD. I guess you could say that wasn't quite up to the mark, really. And this was David De Gea's first penalty save since 2016. 5 years! Fam, Mark Noble should be sentenced to community service for this. Meanwhile, Villarreal forward Gerard Moreno was one of the first to congratulate De Gea on his save on Instagram. Bit awkward given the Europa League final result, Gerard. At the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and Spurs once again were taken apart 3-0 by fellow Londoners, this time in the form of Chelsea. N'Golo Kante scored the second after a Thiago Silva opener, and he looked completely unfazed. The man was celebrating like it was a training session. Chelsea atted me on Twitter, and I'm not entirely sure why it happened, but if the Chelsea players are watching, then just let Liverpool win the league, innit? I mean, they're stealing our scorelines anyway. Every single result we've had, Chelsea have replicated the exact same game week. Thomas Tuchel is a criminal.
I get 3-0. You must get 3-0. I get 2-0. You must get 2-0.
Meanwhile, Timo Werner made a late appearance and once again was frustrating. Maybe that guy from the Stadio announcement video was correct after all.
Get Werner out the club.
You get out! Kai Havertz 100% sends Mason Mount Werner memes from I'm Just Bait. Meanwhile, Spanish left-back Marcos Alonso has made the decision not to kneel at the start of games and instead is going to point to a No to Racism badge on his shirt. And it's caused as much controversy as an Extinction Rebellion roadblock. I'm glad those things didn't cross over though, because I wouldn't have trusted him in a car. Look, if you don't want to kneel, then it is what it is. You've got freedom of speech. But you have to fight for racial equality in a different way and show that this isn't just a complete cop-out of kneeling. Mealing. Meanwhile at Spurs, and that's 2-3-0s on the bounce, Eric Dyer still plays at centre-back, so that's no real surprise. At the other end though, Harry Kane might have had enough. You can catch him at City's training ground tomorrow.
Let me in. Let me in.
Now over in Brazil, and Brazilian Hulk has announced that the niece of his ex-wife is pregnant with his child. Not this again. Brazil, we are having an intervention. Children with his ex-wife's niece. Who? Hulk, mate, get a grip of yourself. These new Marvel films are out of control. I know it's not blood relation, okay? It's not actually his niece. That'd be crazy. But this is still very strange behavior. What are you doing, half-nephew, ex-uncle? His kids are gonna be calling him cousin, half-nephew, and uncle 3 times removed at the same time. Now today, class, we're all gonna count with our fingers to 5. Hulk Jr., I'll let you go first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 6. You've got 6 fingers. Look, not to be outdone, I'm expecting a Neymar family comeback pretty soon. That was a bad choice of words again. Carabao Cup action now, as Man City demolished Wycombe Wanderers 6-1 with a back line still in year 8.
16? Had to push 17? 16?
It's only a matter of time before they win this competition. They love it so much that Phil Foden has called his dog Carabao. Pep Guardiola said it was a great experience for some of the youngsters to play against a legendary striker in Adebayo Akinfenwa. I just wish he'd quoted KSI, to be honest.
This guy is
But he's still urging City fans to actually attend games. Big man, your players didn't even turn up against Southampton. He's gonna be disappointed when he walks out at the Etihad on the weekend.
Are we ready? I guess not.
They're gonna be giving City tickets away at this stage. You'll be finding them on your McDonald's Monopoly sticker. I'm gonna open a flipping Kinder Egg and a season ticket's gonna fall out. Now over at Carrow Road, and Liverpool took a 3-0 victory over Norwich. I'm just shocked that Luis Suarez didn't come on from nowhere and score. He loves these lot. And I'm shocked that Jurgen Klopp even got up for it. He feels disgusted every time he sees the League Cup in his calendar. I love this picture. Even Naby's bamboozled at how he scored that goal. He's got zero interest when his assistant says that they're getting the coach.
We?
And young goalkeeper Kelleher saved a Norwich penalty with a Rabona. Burnley's new signing, Maxwell Cornet, was so gassed for his debut that he posted this graphic on his Instagram for a Carabao Cup game against Rochdale. Andre Gomez enjoyed giving it back to QPR fans that rinsed him for a poor corner. Now in the Premier League, and Aston Villa won 3-0 against the very same Everton. As one of the goals was going in, Ezri Konsa did this.
You whip a ball in like this. It's flat, it's pacey, it takes back.
I mean, it's bad enough for Ben Godfrey. It's a shithousery award for Ezri. At Watford, and after a goal for forward Emmanuel Dennis, fair to say the Norwich fans weren't feeling the love. Gives a new meaning to flipping off. Do you get it? Because he's got a middle finger, but the guy's flipping for the celebration. And sticking on the Watford theme, we've got this member of the squad getting caught out by something we've all been caught out by.
Yeah, I'm happy. Give me that, mate. Thank you.
And at Newcastle, I'm genuinely is Joe Willock okay? First of all, it was thank you for opening me with welcome hands. And then instead of saying borrow, he's put borrow. Fam, it's a harder word to spell. Why would you put that one? At Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta's getting very involved with the drills in training.
Yes. How's that? Yes, no.
He doesn't care about managing. He's here for a kickabout and vibes. He'll be chilling, ready to play the ball. Then Granit Xhaka, 2 foot. There was a lovely touch though from Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale, who gave his kit to a kid at the end of the game. It's alright, don't worry about it. You'll grow into it. A TikTok came out this week showing a Liverpool fan giving it large to Mateo Kovacic, then Kovacic calling him a different kind of large. Meanwhile, Tuesday was a mental day for Dan James, whose wife gave birth to their first child at 3 p.m. He then left the hospital in a helicopter at 4, started a game against Fulham in the Cup at 8, and then scored a penalty in the shootout just before 10. Hey guys, so welcome to my day in the life. Like and subscribe. And please, I'm going into labor. Not now, Janine. Why would she be called Janine? Phil Jones has returned to the fray for Manchester United after almost a year and a half out injured. And he was asked about his time away and said he'd been targeted by trolls online. Keyboard warriors who were living in their mum's basement drinking flat Pepsi. This man said flat. Used Pepsi. The joke's on him, because mine's still fizzy. Do you know what? Oh, God. And his Manchester United teammate Marcus Rashford is set to have examples of his social work added to the GCSE curriculum. So if John has 60 free school meals, but then Jessica takes away 16 and then gets on a train to place A that's traveling at 64 miles per hour, what in the world? There were scenes in France when Lille took on Lens in Ligue 1. Their game had to be resumed after separation by police when Lens fans stormed the pitch to confront Lille fans at half-time. But one Lille supporter is set to be prosecuted after having a wank in front of the Lens fans. Pardon? Now's not the time to be whipping out your baguette, big man. Meanwhile, in a tweet from Alan Saint-Maximin, the Newcastle winger realised that a fan hugging him in a picture looked exactly like Lyon's new signing Xherdan Shaqiri. Thankfully, Lyon were able to confirm that he did arrive before their game against PSG. Yes! Come on, get in there. You didn't see anything. In Serie A, and Juventus claimed their first victory of the season, despite being 2-1 down versus Spezia. They took the lead, and their forward brought out the Ronaldo celebration because he left Juve. These lot are getting violated by teams that sound like pasta dishes. But at least with that victory, they battled all the way up to 12th. Jesus fucking Christ. About the Super League. Get someone like Bologna in there. And meanwhile, in a Super League of their own, Ajax beat Cambuur 9-0 in the Eredivisie. I didn't know Ralph Hasenhüttl had a new job. Hello all, and welcome to The Beautiful Game, the segment where we take a look at the poetic and brilliant side of the game that we love. We are back by popular demand for yet more glorious beauty.
بالنسبة لبولوني وهذا السان مارتن يبغي تسجيل دخول لكن الكرة بتتهيأ في مكان يا رب.
And that concludes The Beautiful Game. In Turkey, and after scoring against Besiktas, Mario Balotelli ran to their manager, Sergen Yalçın, and pointed to his own noggin. The Besiktas manager once claimed in an interview that Balotelli had no brain. It's a shithousery award for Mario. Wait, hang on a second. With all your potential and you're playing in the Turkish Super League because you're an idiot. Fam, he was correct in the first place. Closer to home, and after kicking the ball away to prevent a quick free kick, this Luton player physically volleyed a Swansea counterpart's ankles into the hot dog stand and didn't even get sent off. Can someone explain to me why there's gloves in the away end? Has Cal the Dragon made the trip up or something? At Fulham, and we've got an interesting selection of fans attending the game on the weekend. Bun the full cake for a second, alright? Who's reading a sci-fi thriller at a game? Meanwhile, Premier League side Wolves have announced that they're launching a new music label called Wolves Records. How about you sort out your Premier League record before we start venturing into that? I can't wait to see Adama Traore's fire in the booth. Yo, I got arms the size of a shed when I kick off. Yeah, how fast and how far ahead now. Baby oil. In Uruguay, and this man with a stretcher may need some medical attention as well after pulling his hamstring. One footballer in the Saudi Arabian League celebrated with a Joker mask. Do you want to know how I got this scar? I'm guessing it was a stud on the shin, probably. Over in Paraguay, and you thought it couldn't get worse than missing a sitter, I'm afraid to tell you it can.
Porque fíjense que él termina equivocándose en la definición y después en ese intento de lamento se cuelga el travesaño y termina cayendo.
In the very same game, and we had a feline bitch invader. I don't know what's going on in Paraguay, I won't even lie. And in Ukraine, I mean, we had a practical entire zoo being a pitch invader in this one. A couple of dogs arriving on the scene, they were got rid of, and then a horse out of nowhere. I mean, meanwhile, nearby, and it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for, because over in Romania, we've got some unbelievable skill from the 3rd division of Romania this week. And you're probably not going to see a quicker goal scored in the entire nation, as Radu Ungurianu, I've definitely said that, Radu, scored straight away. 4 seconds in, he struck from the halfway line and the ball found the net. What an effort, what a country. Over in Argentina, we've got this excuse of a challenge from Boca Juniors. In Brazil, and this player showed incredible restraint not to assault a referee with a football. In the MLS, and we've got a traditionally awful own goal.
5 goals. All-time leading goal scorer. Oh, might have a shot. A gift.
And there's the outrageous story coming from CONCACAF nation Suriname, whose vice president, a 60-year-old man, played in the CONCACAF League against Olympia, captaining the team that he actually owns as well. He's been a player owner for like, I don't know, the last 10 years. And every now and again, he insists that he plays. I mean, they're 2-0 down, so it clearly didn't help, but look, I back it personally. Now that it's time for still 0-0, and you guys know the score by now, this is a segment of the show where I bring to you the best of Sunday League and amateur football. This time we've got a bit of a 5-a-side amateur crossover, where a substitution is occurring, and, you know, you're fresh off the bench, you want to make a positive impact. Not entirely sure that's the case here. On to the weird stuff though now. In the 9th division of Austrian football, and a Russian player was banned for 48 games for headbutting an opponent and breaking their nose. 48 matches. In fact, the game's gone soft. In the Australian Amateur Women's League, and if you thought the Player of the Match awards from before were bad, I mean, this just takes the biscuit. How are you winning a Schlop Soccertron 3000 for being the best player in the match? What is... In the Zambian Super League, and in a game between Green Buffaloes and Zanaco, both sides had to drop to the floor as a swarm of angry bees took over the stadium. And the final story is a crazy one, but does have a wholesome ending, where at the Everton Sports Centre, a referee who was reffing a set of children collapsed, having had a heart attack, and for a decent while was not breathing. This man's wife came to the rescue as a nurse, and herself and a fellow colleague were able to bring the referee literally back to life. Traumatic at first, but hopefully a great outcome. Wishing a speedy recovery to the referee, and shouts to doctors and nurses, man. Big ups the NHS, but don't let anybody clap for you instead of giving you money, innit? That though is gonna wrap up football this week, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at the official FNG on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.